Chalk one up for the working class. The union workers at Kellogg score a huge win here, getting huge concessions out of Kellogg's corporate. The only thing was, I don't think they got the two-tier pay system and the two-tier benefit system addressed yet. They could probably get that done in the next round of contract negotiations. I don't know when that will be. But they did get higher wages. They did get more time off. They did get their hours addressed. This is great. This is exactly what it means to stand in solidarity with your fellow worker. And it goes to what Bernie Sanders keeps saying all the time. It's not me, it's us. Change doesn't occur from the top, it occurs from the bottom up. And this is what he was talking about. It's organized labor that makes all the difference in the world. You know, look back during the New Deal. It was organized labor, along with the other alternative parties that were out there. I mean, when Eugene Debs ran on the socialist ticket in the 1930s, he garnered, I think, as much as 13 to 15% of the overall vote, if I'm not mistaken. But then you also had the Communist Party, which had their hands in this as well. So the socialists, the communists, the unions, the workers of the country, all coming together to address what had been imposed on them, which was a more laissez-faire, unregulated, predatory capitalist system that only benefited those at the top. Well, right here, guys, is how you fight back. You unionize. You organize. You let the employers know that they need you, that you don't need them. That's how you win. And more than that, when you withhold your labor like this, you can also hurt the wallets of corporate, which in turn hurts the campaign donations of their puppet politicians. That's what Bernie Sanders means about change occurring from the bottom up. No matter who gets into office, if you pressure them right, you hit them in the wallet. You hit their donors in their wallets. Directly their donors in their wallets. You can move the Overton window where you want it to be. And that's exactly what these Kellogg's union workers did. It's what the John Deere workers did. And of course, Kellogg's recently just said, okay, if you're going to demand all this, nice stuff that would help you improve your life and take away from our precious profits, we're going to use scrubs, permanent scrubs. We're just going to bring in a bunch of foreign workers or outsourced jobs or part-time workers who don't get any benefits, and we'll just leave it at that. And Kellogg's workers, to their credit, called their bluff and said, we don't think so. You ain't doing that. And of course, Kellogg's finally got the message and realized they weren't playing around, and so another offer was made and they agreed to it. So, congratulations to these Kellogg's workers. I think we need to see a lot more of this. A lot more. Companies all over the country need to take an example from Kellogg's. They need to take an example from John Deere. And just on another note, the Amazon's workers of Bessemer, Alabama are going to get another chance at unionization. So there was a court that ruled that Amazon did interfere with the unionization process, using intimidation and other forms of coercion to try to get the vote the way they wanted it. Now, who's to say that it'll be different this time around? Because the fear of God's already been put into those workers, first of all. Second of all, it is a very conservative state, so who knows? But maybe. Let's not say all hope is lost on that front. If Bessemer, Alabama unionizes, and if that one, I believe there was another warehouse in Illinois that was hit by the tornado, if they unionize as well, then Amazon's been put on notice. And that, because of the power of Amazon, that should be a wake-up call to the rest of America's working class. To stop being afraid of your employer. Don't worry. Like myself personally, I mean, I have a medical issue, okay? I have to live with it every day. I depend on my medication. I depend on health insurance. So I do get the fear that some people have. But if you're one of these people who can afford to kind of take that risk, Do it. Do it. Remember, employers need you. You don't need them. And if you push hard enough, if you last long enough, if you can show them your resolve, lean on each other for support when times are tough, then they will realize that the working class is uniting and their divide and conquer strategy has failed. And that's how we take our country back, from the ground up. We can start influencing politicians a lot more through their donors, through the employers, through the billionaires and investors who have the biggest stocks in these companies. By withholding our labor, by boycotts in some cases. Hell, reach across the world. Reach across the world where some of these companies exist, where they have cheap labor, and say, hey guys over in India, hey guys over in Taiwan, hey guys over in Afghanistan, Pakistan, wherever, stand up, unionize, don't be afraid of it. It's important to understand this as well. The more workers around the world stand up and unionize, and the more countries where unions exist, eventually employers are going to run out of places to exploit. And then what? Then what are they going to do? So in the end, the workers win. In the end, the greedy, selfish capitalists will lose. It's just a matter of time. And this was a great step in the right direction. I'm really happy these workers succeeded, and I hope they get the other issues addressed during the next round of negotiations.